I had made a commitment to my people in the company. I said 5 years from now, if we are not number one in India, we'll close.
मतलब सोलापुर से कोई टाटा मोटर्स को सप्लाई करता है ये तो कोई सोच भी नहीं सकता है. Having the right partner in your life literally changes the way your life is led.
Without a single doubt.
You still have your meals with the team members, be it from the lowest hierarchy to the highest.
I think it's a phenomenal sense of trying to get to level ground with everybody. That's one time when I say, अब यहाँ पे कोई फासला नहीं है.
The younger generation today, if there is a little pressure in one place, they'll hop on to another job.
My question is, yes, agreed. How long will you remain Gen Z? Dependence on outside is unhealthy and it's dangerous. Current times will tell you that this is absolutely true, that you should not be dependent on outsiders. The next round will have the MD of Toyota. And all the Japanese were wanting to show the MD, kya, kaise, kya nahi. Like I asked all my people who visit the company, how did you find, what's your feedback? Thought for a while and he said, Mini Toyota.
22 years of our formal education. We don't know how to deal with finances.
Formal education is important, although we're outdated in many ways. Our education system needs to be completely revamped.
और आज के डेट पे सब तो भाग रहे हैं सोलापुर से, पुणे, बॉम्बे, बैंगलोर, दिल्ली, एंड कोई वापस नहीं आना चाहता. यहाँ पे क्या रखा है?
कौन लाके देने वाला है तुमको? It is you who's got to create it. It is you who will build it, and it is you who should be proud by saying, this is my contribution to my city.
Welcome to the Breaking Stereotypes, where we embrace every choice, empower every thought, and encourage every individual to create a change. Presented by the SAP Media, sponsored by Dr. Stuti Khare Shukla's Elements of Aesthetic, and production partner Pack Studios. I'm your host, Sudakshna Chatla, founder of the SAP Media. Welcome to the show and namaste. Today's episode is truly special. Today's guest is someone who has built a 1200 crore company and generates employment for over 2,500 people in a small city of Maharashtra, Solapur. And what's more interesting and inspiring? It's from the city where I come from, where I grew up. And to believe and watch someone create such a big empire, legacy in Solapur, I'm super, super proud. We are joined today by Mr. Yatin Shah, the Managing Director, Chairman, and founder of Precision Camshaft Limited. From starting as a local entrepreneur to creating India's #1 and world's largest and leading camshaft manufacturing companies, and now being listed on stock exchange and serving global automotive giants, his story is extraordinary and inspiring. This story is of Mr. Yatin Shah, a man from a small city, big dream, and a larger vision to put Solapur on a global map. He has proven that you don't have to be in metro cities, the UK, US, Mumbai, Bangalore, to build a 1200 crore company. He has done it right here in a small city in Solapur. Under his visionary leadership, Precision Camshaft Limited has grown into a powerhouse with global footprint comprising companies like Memco in India, MFT in Germany, and EMOS in Netherlands. Today, the group caters to the biggest multinational names across industries, from Tata, Toyota, Mahindra and Mahindra, Maruti Suzuki, Royal Enfield, from the Porsche, Mercedes, Kia, Volvo, Ford, and Audi, and to many, many global brands. He transformed local vision into international success story by creating opportunities for thousands of people here in Solapur. Let's welcome the visionary industrialist, Mr. Yatin Shah, sir. You have built a legacy over the last 3 decades, and the most important thing that has shaped you, that has created the resilience or the discipline you have today, I believe it's your childhood, because I read about it somewhere that you were in the boarding school, and that's where you learned how to do things, how to have a routine, and how to be resilient enough. So tell us a little about that part of your life.
Right. So, morning, Sudakshana. Thank you very much for this conversation. I was a child that was fairly pampered by my grandfather. So, up until the age of 7, I think I got exactly what I wanted, the way I wanted. And I think that worried my mother largely, saying that if this is the way he continues to grow in Sholapur, it would not be good for him. My grandfather passed away, and then she took a hard call of putting me into a boarding school in Devlali, which is called Ban School. Was run by Britishers then, and it was a hard call for her and extremely difficult for me to accept. Being away from parents and that too so far away. That boarding school was unlike today's boarding schools, which are very privileged. I mean, I've been to a lot today where they serve you the food that you want, and they have every possible frill and perk that a child would want. Much as to say that he doesn't feel away from home, or rather, he feels it's better to be in a boarding school than being at home. So this school was unlike. This was a very different school. I think this school conditioned just not my mind but my body also. So here was a school that was situated on the hilltop on Devlali, where temperatures in December would freeze up to 3. And it sounds it might sound very unusual or funny that this school did not have hot water. So you're supposed to bathe around the year in that cold water. So you can imagine how it must have been during that point of time. So it starts beginning to say you have no option here. You do exactly what is given to you and live with that. Number two, I think one of the most important things was that it was highly structured. So you did everything to a bell, woke up to a bell, slept by a bell. Everything in between also was by a bell. So, there was little room for freedom as you would have it. And I think that's what conditions your mind to become very disciplined. It again might sound very funny, but in the 8 years that I was advanced, uh, I did not know what a roti was. So 8 years we were served lunch, breakfast, and dinner bread. That was a British school. That bread got into me so much so that it still forms a part of my staple today. But today's boarding schools are a lot more privileged. They'll have probably different cuisines. So here was something that you had to be forced to saying, okay, it's bread, bread, and bread. And there are so many such things that you learned in that boarding that actually made you a little different from the rest. So in this boarding, you can at least, I mean, the way we grew up, I soon saw two kind of people. One is an extreme rebel, where he said, when I get out of the school, I will follow no rule, no regulation, no nothing, because I've been so stifled all my life by these rules that I'm not going to follow any. And I've seen a lot of them. Whereas I thought maybe that conditioned me so much so that I pursued that even as I left college, even as I left school. I still continued to do exactly what I think I did in boarding school. So, a lot of practices I have gotten into my blood. It's not by force, but I've gone to blood, and then you sort of say, well, this is the life that was good, and I continue to follow it.
So, no room for tantrums, no room for demanding anything that you want.
So, Sudakshana, the issue was we had periods of holidays, right? Which I'd come back to Sholapur. That was the only time that I was with my parents. So, in this 2 weeks or 3 weeks, sometimes 4, it is about that much time that you got a chance to throw a tantrum or demand something. But then you realize later, as you grew older, that you can do that for 4 weeks. It's not going to last too long.
Yeah.
So don't continue to do that. It's like saying, where will you be more conditioned by? 8 months or 9 months that you stay, or 3 months that you stay? 9 months influence you so strongly, it's very hard to become a different person otherwise. So I think that is what boarding school has impacted me. And I'm glad I didn't become a rebel. I'm glad I chose to continue that life that way. So that's the little bit about the boarding. Now, from the boarding school, I came back here and my mother said, you're not going to stay in Sholapur because that is still a bit of a vulnerable age where you can get influenced by what is happening here.
Was that post your 10th grade?
Yeah, post my 10th grade. I'm not saying good or bad, yeah. She just didn't want me to grow up in this environment. So I was packed and sent to Bombay, one of the finest schools I studied. So I think I had a distinct opportunity to study in Cathedral, which was a very premier school at that point of time and is still a premier school. Followed by that, I went to Sydenham, which is again probably the topmost commerce college in Bombay then. It was something that people sought for as the first choice, and then you followed later on. So I had Cathedral, I had Sydenham, I had the best of the study. I stayed for 8 years in Bombay, and I thought I got a little chance to look at a different life altogether. Coming from a boarding school, it was like some how would you say, somebody who's been prison for too long, just allowed to go and see the world that is so glamorous. You know, you lived in that, and suddenly Bombay was it was completely different.
Yeah, it's like सपनों की नगरी जैसे बोलते हैं.
हाँ, तो कुछ-कुछ ऐसा था, but for me it was, I thought, I don't know, it just completely changed the way I looked at it, and I would be very wary. I'd be very cautious. I'd be very nervous to talk to the Bombayites and say, because I came from a different background. For me, Bombay was a different world. Anyway, so I finished my BCom, got back to Solapur, and my dad said, "Wonderful, great to have you back. Join the business," and we're on. And
But throughout that time or throughout your period in boarding school, were you always sure that you want to become an entrepreneur or run a business, or was it like देखते हैं जैसे लाइफ लेकर जाएगा, we'll go with the flow?
I don't think I would have ever chosen to work in a job. पता नहीं क्यों? It's too early in that life to say that I would. But एक तो पक्का था क्या है, I never thought I would work for somebody. I always thought there is something. Maybe it's the background. My father had a business. I grew up seeing that, and I realized that this is what my life is. Something around that. So मैंने ये कभी नहीं सोचा था कि ये छोड़ के I'll start looking for a job. I only thought maybe it'll be a challenge to get in and establish myself in the business. So ये रही बॉम्बे की बात. उसके बाद when I came back, my mom said after a year and a half, after I'd actually become a little stable with my father and his business, that no, it's time for you to do an MBA, get out of the house. And I said, what's wrong with you? I said, from the third until graduation, I understand that you chose to keep me out. Now that I've come back, you still want me to go. She said, yes, get your MBA done and then come back, and then you're done good. Now, all of that makes me think only one thing. Had she not done this, would I be here talking to you? I don't know. So maybe I would have been a very different person. Maybe I would have chosen a different life. I don't know what. But ek to pakka hai, through all that I went, whether it's in Barnes School, Bombay, Pune, uh, I became highly independent. I was not the person to sort of look at saying, can you help me do this? Can you do, sort of. So, hota kya hai in schools here? You come back home and you don't feel like eating something, so you start throwing tantrums and the mom will do something for you. Where are you going to do that? Nothing. There is nothing. I mean, I can give you an incident. In Barnes School, I had a severe infection on my arm, and the dispensary was about 2 kilometers from my school, from where I lived. And in that dispensary, funny enough, there were 8 beds. Unusually so, I was the only one there.
Mm.
So it was an obscure building, cut away from the rest. Nobody to look at you throughout the day. Doctor would come once in the morning. So when you realize that you've got to go through this and there is nothing that you can do about it, so you choose to say, "Nay, I will come back,"
Yeah.
or I will then continue. So I think without an option, I had to continue, and I think I survived, and I think that helped me a lot.
Yeah, that made you stronger.
I've always had this. I've always had this debate with my wife. Should we have sent our kids to boarding? She said, "No, you've sent them. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's the best option." So I'm not saying that what happened to me is good or bad, but I just thought it was a debate that worth having.
Did you also pamper your kids as much as you were pampered?
Well, let's put it like this. During their growing years, I was so occupied with business that I was almost on the run every day. So pampering, yes, kid, I did, but I wouldn't say that pampering was to the large extent that my grandfather did on me. He spoiled me. Didn't pamper me. He spoiled me. Good thing is, so as my wife, she instilled a lot of values, ethics, principles in both of them, which which is so important in life. I think they understood the value of a lot of things which she imparted and instilled, which they still carry today. So I thought, in a way, she played both the parents to them, whereas I was on the run trying to build PSL, but it was chosen, understood that I would have to sacrifice a lot to get here. So it's not that, like a lot of people say, you have the cake and eat it too. I can't. So I've often said goodbye to my wife on her birthday at the airport. Yeah, what could you do? I mean, if business calls, so be it. But then I chose that lifestyle and I said, no, this is important. You can't have really everything that you want. You'll have to sacrifice. You'll have to. So I gave up and I gave up. Uh, it wasn't something that I was forced to. I chose to. So I chose to give up and I said, no, अगर कुछ बनना है, this is the way I want to do it.
And she understood.
I think that was a great thing between us. That understanding that, one of us has to play both parents was so important. One of us had to take care of the house responsibility. She was the only one who stood shoulder to shoulder in this entire journey. It wasn't just a silent partner saying, okay, तुम जा रहे हो छुट्टी, जा रहे हो कहीं काम पे, all right, have a good trip over it. Now, why, what, all the difficulties and challenges, she understood. So I think that plays a very important part when you have this alignment, when you have this understanding. Otherwise, there is friction.
Yeah. There were
Right.
no complaints.
I would say there were occasionally, but she understood that um, maybe it's better that he goes now today. Because then my regrets for not doing would be greater than the complaint at that point of time.
True.
Because I would have said, no, you insisted that I stay on this date. Fair enough. But what have I lost in this process?
So, would you say that having the right partner in your life literally changes the way your life is led?
Without a single doubt. Without a single doubt. Look, I was managing my father's business when I came back. They employed something like 500 people and they had a lot of things. So I joined him and I had all the perquisites. Squid, watchman, there was a whole riot to somebody coming and picking my bag and taking it to the office. Ring a bell and somebody gets your coffee, and there is early in life and you see it's something like this, you sort of enamored, And when I realized that that is not the life, because his business was a family business between him, his brother, and 4 or 5 cousins.
Okay.
So now what happens is typically each one of them has a say in business. And then you realize that each one is probably right, each one is probably wrong. Amongst them, I was the only one who was formally trained as an MBA. So my way of looking at business was very different than theirs. Theirs was a gut feeling, intuitive based business, whereas mine was hardcore evidence and data driven. So I started doing everything and we sort of grew with the business. But in all of the 4 or 5 years that I was with him, in which I significantly grew the business, I realized one thing: it's a very difficult way to live with this setup environment. I wasn't so worried about looking at getting business. Then to having these internal differences being sorted out on a daily basis. I said, I don't know how you lived it. I said, but this far and no further. In 93, I told him that, I've got everything that I wanted from you. I've got a nice lifestyle. I grew this business. I'm emotionally connected with it. And I hate to leave this, but I will, because I don't think I'm cut out here. I think I have a larger dream. I have a larger aspiration. I want to do something. Maybe I'll start small, but I will get there. That comes out of the boarding.
So, the education basically gave you the guts to probably move out or have that knowledge to take a step ahead.
So MBA gave me that. But that instinct to say I will survive on my own comes from the boarding. So I don't think I said I have doubts that I could do this. When you're about to take a major life turning decision that you're going to leave your father's business and start your own, you can do all of that you want. You can go and connect with 10 people and say, "ये बराबर कर रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ." I think each one has an agenda
Yeah.
in answering.
Yeah.
So कोई मेरे तरफ से नहीं सोचता है. It's you with your background. It's you with your perception. It's you with your experience. So I said, I don't need this. So I think the only validation that I wanted was from my wife. I said, shall we do this? I'm going to take this call of leaving my father's business. I'm going to start this. What do you think? And if you say yes, I'm going to do it. If you say no, we'll have a completely different thought. And she said, no, I'm with you. And I think it's very important that that validation gave me the conviction that I could go forward. मैंने दुनिया में किसी से नहीं पूछा था. I didn't ask anybody. I just said, you and you will have to give me that either approval or not approval, but sort of validation, assurance that I'm with you in this process. So I think with that, I stepped foot, and I actually went to a company that was probably in all some 6,000 square foot, as in land, 1,500 square foot as a factory shed, whereas my dad in his plant had 600 employees, over 4 acres, and a huge plant.
And this is in the 90s.
93.
93.
So
But
here
you
I
had
was.
a safety net. You had everything. Why would you?
You can have two things. You can choose to live a stifle life and say harol maro, and then still continue to live with it. There are people who are saying, "No, I think you're not doing this right. You should have done this like this, and you should have done this like that." And constant bickering, constant opposition, constant way of. I'm saying, "तुम कर तो कुछ नहीं रहे हो. You're silent, but yet you want a say. Whereas I'm in the action, and you don't listen to me." So I said, "ये कब तक चलेगा? You live a stifle life all along." So I said, I don't want to live that stifle life. I want to live. I will take a call on my life. I will be responsible for the success. I will be responsible for the failure. I had clearly made up my mind that if my business doesn't succeed, the singular person who would be blamed for is me. Much as I say, the success belongs to me. So I keep telling lots of people, जो तुम कर रहे हो ना, उसके लिए दोनों के लिए तुम जिम्मेदार हो. When you become successful, you tom around the town by saying, I was the one who did this. And then when you have failures, you say, नहीं इसने ऐसे बोला था. And then the grahas were not right. And God
You blame it on the stars.
stars. So ये क्यों? I think you should have the gut to say, I failed.
But particularly the Gen Z, the younger generation today, they cannot take too much pressure. They give up very easily. They cannot stay at one place. If there is a little pressure in one place, they'll hop on to another job. They do not have the resilience. They cannot handle the pressure. And they're like, ma'am, humse nahi ho raha hai. The resignations come in the next day. You tell them, I want this at 6 o'clock. And they're like, you're putting too much pressure. And I'm having anxiety or depression. All of this is true. We all face this. But is it too soon? Did the threshold reduce over the period of time? And what would be your advice and your perspective regarding this life of Gen Z where too many options, hopping jobs, hopping lifestyle instantly, waiting for instant gratification, expecting everything to be done immediately, expecting results to be in 2 years, 3 years, want to become a millionaire by 20, and then burn out, hustle, and give up?
I think this is two things that you need to separate. So I think this younger generation is formally trained. I think they're educated. A lot of them have postgraduates and the rest of it, and then they want to try and hand it at business, which is not wrong. I think anybody and everybody should try and do it. My question is that when you said they give up too early or whatever it is, in the sense, the younger generation is a little different lot than I see from my experience. When I look at this generation, I'm saying they have so many options, multiple options in life, that it's easy for them to say no, and I'm not coming in tomorrow. Because they know that as soon as you're finished with no here, there's a yes waiting somewhere. So with that kind of assurance behind you, why would you not take all these funny decisions? So you people say, chalo, theek hai. I'm saying, yeah, okay, good. You As Gen Z, you have a period where you thrive, where you look at everything that is beautiful and say, every day I can do this and that. I'm enjoying life. I choose my job. I choose my evenings lifestyle. I do everything that is against my health or whatever it is. But that's the life that I've chosen. My question is yes, agreed. How long will you remain Gen Z? So my question is that if you pass that certain age where you're no longer a Gen Z, let's assume for the worst, you're not stable, established as either in career or as in business. What do you do? What do you do? So let's assume that you've already passed that funny age and then you've got into this, and then people start saying below, you're no longer a part of us. On top, people say that you wasted your life earlier. आप क्या चाहते हो? So my only sincere advice, I'm nobody really to give, but my sincere advice to Gen Z is do enjoy life. Yeah, you got everything, options, all of that. My thing is that please start looking at getting stable before you cross that age. Because that's a very, very turning point where you say Gen Z is much below. But at 35, 36, you're not stable and you're still hunting for business or you're still hunting for a good job. मेरे ख्याल से I think, so I'm maybe completely wrong. I have different views. I've seen it very closely. But I think it's very difficult for somebody to now say that I'll try my best. 37 is the age where you've tried everything that you've done. हो चुका है. Now you say कि I'll try. Give me an opportunity. जब तुम्हारे पास 100 अपॉर्चुनिटी थी तब तो तुमने कुछ किया नहीं. Now at this age you want to do it. I'm saying, why must I look at you? You had that golden period. And in that period, you ought to have done your best and become successful. But no, you wanted job hopping. You wanted to have every evening beautiful. You wanted to have a your fantastic life, etc. इन सब में कहीं सोचा है 25 में मैं क्या बनना चाहता हूँ, 30 में मैं क्या बनना चाहता हूँ, 35 में क्या बनना चाहता हूँ. I have seen a lot of people because of their work who took it so intensely at 40 they're burnouts.
Yeah.
Not because of the lifestyle. They took on to a job that was so demanding that by 40 you're burnt. But you've earned everything in life. पैसा हुआ है, घर हुआ है, ये हुआ है. Now question is that a good trade-off? मेरे लिए नहीं है. I wouldn't like to get burnt off at 40 and say, यार घर है, गाड़ी है अभी. What? 40 is like 40 for me in many ways is where life begins. And you're saying, Abbas, I'm just saying there is no right or wrong. There is no, each one has to call his own balance.
Yeah. So, very important thing that we have understood from the conversation is education plays a very important role in the way you live a life or you aspire to live a life. But today, people are giving up on formal education at 16. They are not interested. They're dropping out of schools and colleges in India and starting up their businesses or doing something like the hustle, side hustles, and all. Do you think formal education is very important in today's age?
Formal education is important, although I still strongly believe that our education system needs to be completely revamped. We're outdated in many ways, extremely outdated. I mean, if you look at me and my MBA process in a very premier institute in Pune, what I learned there was even then I felt it was outdated.
We still feel that the 20 years, 22 years of our formal education, we are taught so many formulas and so many things that we don't use in our regular life. And I feel things like financial literacy or maybe trading or maybe stock market or as basics as entrepreneurship or mindfulness, emotional intelligence. We don't know what is empathy. We don't know how to lead. We don't know how to deal with finances. Once you enter the real world and you're like, अरे पैसे तो आ रहा है लेकिन जा कहाँ रहा है? And you're not understanding what is happening in your life because what was taught for 22 years is not relevant when you come in the real world.
I think it's changing again for the better, but that entire process to be revamped is going to take a lot of time. So if you tell me did MBA for me, again I repeat, it's not necessarily for everybody. Did MBA teach you to do my business? No. That MBA had very little to do with my business. It was a degree there were some parts that I learned and I thought it was good for me. But if you say, did that play a pivotal or a big role in the way I did my business? No. You're fortunate sometimes that you have a good professor who actually makes the subject very interesting. If you start learning through a right person, if you understand the fundamentals, the basics of finance, then it becomes an extremely interesting subject. I always feel reading a balance sheet is the most fascinating thing than a book. It's beautiful when you start looking at it and saying कितना कितना सच है कितना झूठ है सामने आता है. In as much to say, I had the worst professor for chemistry in school. शायद मैं I would have loved to do science, but वो chemistry का professor he could impart knowledge for nuts. And I said ये तो सीखने से रहा. So I had such a distaste for chemistry. Maybe it was because the way he taught.
You would be a scientist today.
I don't know. I have realized one thing for sure. Why do people go to the US to study, pursue academics as an MBA, whatever it is? I think those are MBA colleges that teach you practical knowledge. They teach you how business is done and how you could possibly and potentially do business if you choose the class within that group. So, मान लो 100 लोग हैं. 70 people have decided नहीं करना है मुझे business भाई. I'm happy to do a job. So you form a different class. 30 people say, I'd like to do business. So then there is a separate class for it. So here's the distinction. Indian school में ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. So whether you want to do a job or whether I want to do business, we're in the same class, doing the same rut that is neither useful for you nor for me. So we're both learning something that is not going to help you, not me. What do you come out with? A degree from this college. And that's what you showcase in an interview. कभी पूछा उसने कि तुम क्या किए हो MBA में? No, he says, wonderful. So and so institute MBA. And then you, before he says anything, it's the 5th best institute in India. मेरे ख्याल से MBA colleges in India are not those who can impart knowledge or give you that kind of stuff to make you an entrepreneur.
Do you agree that there are faults in our system?
Oh, plenty. I mean, it is extremely full of faults. ऐसा भी नहीं कि थोड़े हैं. So, my son is a Harvardian. The biggest joy that I had after a lot of time was when he called me from the US and said, I've got admission into Harvard. So he was the youngest guy to get admitted into Harvard. In his class, I realized one thing. I had the opportunity to go and address a small section of wannabe entrepreneurs. I said, to talk at Harvard is like a huge
Achievement. I would literally hang a frame.
I would do too. That is when I realized that these guys are way different from us. Then you say, okay, I've got into the class. I have messed up royally because I didn't study, etc., etc. I had 3 subjects that I failed in the first semester. मेरा कॉलेज क्या बोलता कोई बात नहीं यार कैरी फॉरवर्ड करो कोई
Yes.
दिक्कत नहीं है
बैक लग गया मेरा यही बोलते हैं ना
हाँ सो ऐसा हो गया वैसा हो गया दिस हो गया pampered don't worry it happens try doing that in the industry you will not get 3 months nahi 3 minutes you fail you're out. So this is what I'm saying. Why aren't you teaching your students the reality of business? Why do they get these blunt shocks when they go to the industry? Who is responsible for the way they react? Is it them or is it the institutes that made them pass out? So I used to be extremely vociferous for when I used to go to this MBA colleges and talk to the professors. Mat karo ye tum. Don't pamper, don't mollycoddle them because that's not the way they will face the world when they get out. It's a lot different. It's a lot different. And eventually when they see that real world, it is you that they will blame by saying, you did not teach me this. I'm not saying be harsh and brutal, but at least be that pain of punishment has to be there.
More realistic.
Realistic. तुम पास नहीं हो तो पास नहीं हो रहा बस बात खत्म हो गई.
So, from your interest in finance, in MBA, to taking the risk of starting your own company, which is completely different. It has nothing to do with your finance. I mean, it does play a role, but the product that you chose, a camshaft. How did you get this idea and why did you even go for something so industrial, so different? barely a company doing in India in that time.
Little long story, but I'll try and cut it short. So I was in my father's business. So he was into the tractor industry doing variety of components. Now in that time, we were among the largest ones that did that. But apart from us, in Maharashtra itself, there were about 6 or 7 who did that. So there was a lot of competition. There was, if you didn't do it, somebody else did. He didn't do it, somebody else would do it. And I said, yeah. So since I've decided to get out, I'm not going to do a business that 10 people did. I'd like to do a business which is pretty much a unique business in which I don't think there should be much competition. It's not that I feared competition, but I wanted to be a niche supplier. Wanted to be in the industry because that's where my father's contacts were. So I went and approached all of them and said, I want to get out and I want to do something. So first of all, why do you want to get your father's business? So I said, "Hey, chodo na yaar, usko abhi to ho chuka hai. That's a decision that's taken. Can you tell me what I could do?" Some of them very condescendingly said, "बहुत ही करना है, something unique. Why don't you try your hand at camshafts?" So sir, what's a camshaft? I said, I don't know what it is, how it works, go find out. So we did a little finding out, and then we realized that there's only one company in India that did that for the entire automotive industry, tractor industry. I said, this is unusual. So I said, much before I start doing something completely different, I'd rather be it based on a research and a proper foundation of data and evidence that I am taking a decision on.
Yeah.
Got a junior of mine from college who had a research agency. And I said, let's try and find out who does camshafts, what price, where are they doing it, what is the import, etc. So, काफी study होने के बाद, it was an exciting revelation that camshafts had a fantastic opportunity because there's only one player. Now I would say, when something like this is thrown at my face, it's too good to be true, right? Then I'm saying it is too good to be true. Fantastic. That's where I need to be there. So naivety, lack of experience, etc., made me say, यहाँ तो कोई भी नहीं है, I should do it. ये नहीं मैंने सोचा था कि क्यों नहीं आएंगे इतने सारे लोग. Today I will.
Yeah.
ऐसे बात क्या है यार? Why is somebody not going there? Then I'm saying कि he's the only one. चलो, I'll also start doing it. Then people said, no, it's not so easy. So camshaft is a product. From the time you receive the drawings to the time it's validated, approved, and goes into the engine, this period is 2.5 years. If you're very good, if you're extremely good, you're at 2.5 years. So you cross various windows of validation in this. You fail one window, you're back to square one. So this process is 2.5 years. Now that is why most customers said, कि अगर यतीन तुमको ये दिया, then मान ले. So for that 2.5 years, we are actually playing a big risk. 2 साल के बाद तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट फेल हो गया,
तो पूरा पैसा गया.
मेरा तो पूरा पैसा गया, तुम तो कहीं की नहीं रहे. And then I have no option but to go back to the person who I left. And you know what he'll do to me? I don't have to. So I don't think I'll take a risk. I know your father, I know you, I know everything, but nahi, the business is business. Pata nahi how Mahendra said we'll join hands with you. So started off in that small little facility with 5 people. I think the first thing was some 400 camshafts a month.
And
I
what was your initial investment?
Something in the range of 15 lakhs. And my first year's turnover, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to think it was annual turnover or something like 7 lakhs. So that's where it all started. And I'm saying, okay, wonderful. But that 300, 400, somebody actually said, ye karwayenge. Then I went to escorts and the rest of it followed. But then what happens, you satisfy 2 tractor manufacturers. People then start looking at you by saying, oh, good camshaft supplier to the tractor industry.
You'll be known as a tractor industry
specialist.
Yeah.
Now then what happens to when you go to an automotive guy? So I told my guys, I said, no tractor industry. They said, what's wrong? There are 10 of them. We've only done 2. Let's go to 8. Now here's what separates the thinking. So यहाँ पे you have to have that clarity of thinking by saying, no, stop here now. let's look for somebody in the automotive world
Yeah.
and choose the most difficult one in India. At time there was only one person who was most difficult, was Tata Motors. Tata Motors के पास गए, he said दिमाग खराब हो गया तुम्हारा. I said नहीं, but there is lot that we can do. 2.5 साल लगे before I got the first inquiry. पता नहीं मैं कितनी बार गया था, पता नहीं मैं what I did. But it got me that inquiry in 2.5 years. Converting that took me 1.5 years. And when we got business from Tata Motors and succeeded, that was the beginning of a new journey. Then people realized that there was an excellent option, alternative to the company in Chennai. Then people said, "नहीं भी चलो, we'll go here."
एक चीज कंसिस्टेंटली आपकी जर्नी में है, दैट इज यू कॉन्स्टेंटली गॉट आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, be it from home to boarding school, from father's business to starting your own, then from tractors to automotive. There has been a constant, reminder that you need to think larger, you need to be curious, you need to go out and step out of your comfort zone. But you came back and you established this industry in Solapur. मतलब सोलापुर से कोई टाटा मोटर्स को सप्लाई करता है, ये तो कोई सोच भी नहीं सकता है। एंड वो भी उस ज़माने में जब लोगों के पास तो आइडियाज़ ही नहीं थे या रिस्क टेकिंग की एक एबिलिटी भी नहीं थी। एंड देन यू बिल्ड अ 1200 crore कंपनी एंड with those 5 people that you started, I remember in one of your interviews you said that अगर 5 साल में ये कंपनी नहीं चली तो मैं बंद कर दूंगा। मतलब कभी ऐसे लगा कि इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आया कहाँ से?
जैसे 5 साल के बाद अगर ये बिजनेस नहीं चला तो मैं बंद करूंगा. So that is a very different thing. I had made a commitment to my people in the company, those 10, 20, 30 at that point of time. I said 5 years from now, if we are not number one in India, we'll close.
वाह,
It wasn't चलेगा.
चलेगा।
It is number one in India in 5 years. अगर नहीं बनते हम लोग, we'll close business.
And
नहीं
you
करना.
proved it. Today,
We did it.
world's largest manufacturing.
So वही तो करा था ना कि you have to set tall goals. Aspirations cannot be low. So, हाँ, the fact that you cannot stay in your comfort zone is something that I've always believed very strongly. When you see yourself not wanting to come out of the comfort zone, उल्टी गिनती चालू करो. You're done. You not only say कि you're in comfort zone, but you make your people get into a comfort zone. So I think you must constantly challenge and challenge yourself so much so that यहाँ पहुंचे हो तो now it's time to rest. No, it's now time to get up and start doing something completely different, which people thought was ridiculous. But then that's the fun of it, isn't it? That you're trying to do something that nobody else has done and nobody else has ventured out doing. So we are 4 of us from Sholapur, me fifth, and किसी को camshaft नहीं पता था, right? So अभी करना क्या है? So we knew bit of here and bit of there. So I said, if we want to do camshaft, we need an expert, and we need somebody who's highly trained in this. Oh, there's only one company.
Chennai.
Yeah. तो मैं चेन्नई से किसी को लाना था. So I actually then went down to Chennai 3-4 times, Bangalore and Chennai. Talked to one of their senior persons who actually had built that company. And I said, look, I'm offering you this opportunity to come and join me in Sholapur and we want to do this. He said, what do you have? I said, this is what. He laughed and he said, are you serious that you want me to leave such a beautiful job? I have a bungalow here. I have car. And what do you have? I said, I have nothing. Now, this might sound very filmy, but I told him, I said, there is a dream to build big. And I had the audacity to tell him also, with and without you. So I said, if you join me, nothing like it, but I am sure we will get there. And I don't know what made him. And he said, Pata nahi, main bhi pagal hu. And he said, I'll join you. And he came here and it was not me getting out of my comfort zone. It was him getting out of his comfort zone, that he came from going home to work in a lovely car. He stayed in a beautiful bungalow. He came here. He stayed in a rented flat, and all that I could give him was a scooter. I didn't have the money. So all that I gave him, and he said, I don't know what, but I'm doing this. So that's the team building process beginning.
Was he ever paid more salary than you in the
Yeah, he was, but obviously he came from a big company. I said, banana hai bada, isi ko. I'm the one who's only driving him hard to become where it is. He was paid better as much as I could afford, but he was the highest paid guy. And I think in 10 years, he actually changed PCL. We grew from a company that was doing 600 shafts a month when he came. Untimely death in 8-9 years time he joined PCL. He had a tragic accident. But उसने कंपनी को 600 cam shots per month, he had taken it to 15,000 shafts a month. From 4 people, we were almost there at about 90 people, 100 people. But he was the guy who actually made customers know that there is somebody who knows in this company how a camshaft is manufactured, done. Now, you got to be proud about saying one thing, that there are people who know this job better than you do.
So you hired somebody who knows it better.
I hire people still today, people who know better than me. That's the job of an entrepreneur. You can't say, isko le lo, he doesn't know.
But do you feel threatened by it? Or in the starting?
Why should I? I think each one has a strength. मेरा strength है to see that business vision, to fund it, to grow it. You have technical expertise. I'm not stepping on your feet, nor are you. So long as we can live together, wonderful.
Yeah, but I guess within 5 to 6 years, the Chennai company came to you and said, please acquire us. Now you are the bigger one.
अभी होता क्या है? Over a period of time, since there are only 2 of us, their hunger had died. They become big. चलो ठीक है. This, that, and the other. PCL has taken 1 customer, 2 customer, 3rd customer. Eventually, when most of the customers came to us, they said, "That you've taken away all the business. Why don't you acquire us?" I said, if there was something really nice in your company, I would have acquired you. There's nothing left in your company. It's old machines, old building, people like you, none. I said, not sooner, sooner than later, this company will close.
Yeah.
Your company will close. And probably within a year's time, they folded up.
But today, PCL is not just one unit, it's spread across 45 acres here in Solapur. Mind you, again, a small city like Solapur. And now it's a global company with Memco, EMOS, spreading across the world. You are supplying to global giants like Toyota, Porsche, Ford, Audi, name it, every automotive. Did you ever feel like, abhi ho gaya? Ya fir was there a moment there was greed instead of aggression? Or like, I want everything. How do you differentiate that slight line between greed and ambition?
So one thing I keep telling my team, why did PCL come into existence? PCL has come into existence because of somebody's arrogance and aggressiveness. मैं दूंगा तो इस प्राइस में लेना है तो लेना, तो छोड़ दो. So he said, pick up every goddamn thing from that company, accepting that arrogance and aggressiveness. Customer hai, chhod do, lean, bend, do anything. So when the customer says to us, jump, a lot of customers say, why? We say, how high? So we don't question the customer. You can question me if you want. In front of a customer, you're not. You don't challenge a customer ever. So that's one strong belief. I said, that's the mistake that the Chennai-based company did. And they paid a price. So my boards in the company say, you don't work for me. You work for the customer. And you don't have a customer, no matter what you do to me, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
So customer is primary and the only singular objective of doing business, nothing beyond.
Yeah. So you are allowed to have that aggression, but when it comes to the customer, like they say, customer is the king. So you go down and you just fulfill everything that they want. But when another thing, like because you spoke about the plant and the way when we visited the foundries, all the 3 foundries, it felt like a replica. Like it felt like somebody who has OCD has designed this and is operating this on a regular period. The plant has over 2,500 people working. So many things are happening there, from the raw material to the sand to the packaging. Everything is done in a same process. You see the red marker exactly at the red marker. You see the stripes of the packaging in a single line. Everything, before or after the yellow line. Like it feels like somebody with OCD is operating this. Who is the one? Who is the one who's handling the operations?
So OCD would be an understatement.
I would agree. It is everything so precise. Precise or precision is the new word for me.
You live by that, right? So again, it comes largely from that not wanting to be a rebel but follow the rules.
The boarding school.
Boarding school. So ये सारी जो सीख है ना, it comes from there. And once you start doing it, I think you cross a limit by saying अब ये OCD बन चुका है. And it is now second nature to me. So I can't see anything. When I walk into a plant, somebody else is not mine. I know exactly कितने गलत हो सकते हैं because things are not in the right place. Who are you creating the plant for? The plant is being created for a customer. So when a customer walks into the plant, he must feel comfortable. He must be able to understand the process of manufacturing and quality without you having to explain to him. Leave him. He'll walk the process, he'll see everything and say, it's so transparent, it's so chronologically sequenced, everything is so nice, including your packing. I don't really need to ask you. Now, that is what is a plant. So you design a plant from a customer eyes. You design a plant and keep the practice in such a way that they are optimized for costs. I'm a finance guy. I'm not a technical guy. So the way I operate my plant is to make sure that it's optimized in costs. Right? Third thing, my people should be comfortable working in it. So create space, create the right environment. It should be lit. There should be ventilation. So you have number of stakeholders who need to be kept happy in the process. One customer, be the owner, see the workers, and everybody who is there. Now you dissatisfy one stakeholder, तुम्हारा game बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो सकता है.
Yeah.
The reason we have done it is because now today customers come and say, yesterday we had a customer, and he had come for the first time, and after some 3.5-4 hours of round, he came and said, "Yeah, my feedback." He says, "I have visited probably 100 companies so far. None as clean as yours, none as hygienic as yours, none as transparent as yours, or none as process driven as yours. It's one of the finest plants that I've seen."
Absolutely.
Now, to me, that is a good statement from coming from the customer because he has no agenda. My friend come and say, "अच्छा plant है, beautiful." तो दोस्त है, तू बोलेगा. वो क्यों बोलेगा?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say that he has to go back with this feeling that he is in safe hands by giving business to PCL.
Yeah.
It's not that गया था पता नहीं क्या कर रहे ये लोग, होगा नहीं पता नहीं, गाड़ी में 3 घंटे यहाँ से पूना तक बात करते गए, यार are we giving it to the right people, will they do it, this that. All that they're saying in the car is, yeah, super, great, wonderful to go.
Yeah. Even today, we know that 9:30 you are there at the office. You still have your meals with the team members, be it from the lowest hierarchy to the highest. Not just that, but you still wash your own plate. You have built a 1,200 crore business. You have the maximum share in the global market. How do you continue to stay so grounded?
I don't think it's grounded. So I'll tell you what it is. It is a set of beliefs, convictions, and
Values.
So way back, I told you when I had 5 people, I had no peon, I had no watchman. One was forced to wash a plate after. But I thought it was a great idea. It brought some kind of unity. It had something that people identified by saying, यार ये लिखा तो कहीं नहीं, लेकिन all of us are having food together, all of us are washing plates. That became a practice. Then I said, no, I will not give up. And today also, when we are at this level, I sit with them in the canteen. There is no special canteen for management staff. It's the same canteen which in summer doesn't have air conditioning. It's 45 degrees outside. So you sit there, you open your own tiffin, you have food in the same canteen as they do, you wash your own plate. I think it's a phenomenal sense of trying to get to level ground with everybody. That's one time when I say, अब यहाँ पे कोई फासला नहीं है. People also feel he can sit in an AC cabin and have food. ये क्यों आता है? दिखावा है क्या? नहीं, it's not दिखावा. I think it's there as a practice. It's there as a belief. It's there as a conviction. And I tell all my visitors, I tell everybody, I said, this is the rule. Now you can have your choice. If you don't like it, you can leave it. Somebody else will do it. But if you like it, I'd really appreciate it. And most 99, 100% of the people उठा के चलते हैं. Now, for example, take 45 acres. There is a no smoking zone. 100% there's factories, no smoking. So people in Europe have a smoking room. Airports have a smoking room. I said, no, I will not. So people who came to meet me, Vice President General Motors, this, that, people told me he smokes, sir. I said, look, koi baat nahi. He said, doesn't matter. So he said, can I smoke? I said, you want to smoke? What we'll do is we'll walk to the gate together. You smoke, we'll come back and sit inside. There's a little walk to the gate and come back. And I promise you that I will walk with you each time you want to smoke. But you will not smoke in this company at all. I'll walk with you. So it's not that I'm saying somebody will come along with you or you go by yourself. I'll accompany you. I'll stand with you. You can smoke outside. We'll come back inside. So he also feels good that somebody is valuing some rules, some regulations and beliefs. At the same time, he is not saying get lost and go and do what you want to. I'm joining you.
Yeah.
अभी इससे ज़्यादा मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ?
Yeah.
So these are things that we have imbibed.
And we see a lot of green also, like a lot of plants, and we saw the numbers also, like how many plants are there, how many trees are there. So I guess that's kind of incredible to see you build like legit 5-star resort type foundry where manufacturing is done, where are thousands of people coming and 3 shifts a day. And it's just so clean, squeaky clean, much better than many hospitals in India, I would say. So you have convinced Indians that it's worth it. It's absolutely right to work with PCL. There is growth. There is great culture at the unit. But ये Japanese वालों को कैसे convince किया? They are quite difficult and they're very highly productive and by the rules, quite disciplined. Getting Toyota to work with you, how did you manage this?
So I think first of all, getting Toyota to work is a little different story than why Toyota.
Okay.
Again, that comfort zone. So when you're now in the comfort zone where people say, nahi, ye to kar payenge aap. Toyota came much later. Before Toyota was the Germans, which was the Mercedes-Benz, the BMW and so on and so. They were a difficult lot and they would go through everything. And we had a hard time convincing them. And their audit processes were challenging. But your determination tha ki we'll succeed. I knew that we had everything that they wanted. And it's just right. It had to be shown in the right manner. So I think that we were able to do. Then came an inquiry from Toyota and I said, it's a very difficult thing, but shall we? So talk to my team. I said, it's going to be a very difficult process, but karenge kya? People said, of course, why not? So when we started this journey with Toyota and they said, yeah, we'll want to come and audit your plant. First time there was some 10 or 11 Japanese who came for an audit and they did different part audits. कोई manufacturing पे जा रहा है, कोई quality पे जा रहा है, कोई maintenance पे जा रहा है, पता नहीं क्या क्या. Their own way of doing it. And my people are a little shocked. How is this audit happening? Is this so different from everybody that we've seen in the world? And maybe. Then we said, what happens next? They said, no, give us some time. Another round of audit will happen. Again, another 10 Japanese. And then again something. And then this went on for 2.5 years. We had some 13 visits from Toyota.
Wow.
Each time, that many Japanese, each time them seeing different things in the company. जो हमने बोला था, why are they seeing this? What makes them see something so trivial that they want to be sure that it's right? But I had reached my patience by then. I said, 2.5 years are done. I said, no more. अब की और मैं पक्का बोलूँगा कि सर अगर नहीं होता है तो we'll stop it because you've taken a lot of time. You spent a lot of resources. You've invested so much time. So have we. And I think it's time now to say goodbye because I don't know. पता तो था कि कब चालू हुआ, but I really can't see date of closure. Nor are you willing to say.
Yeah.
You say, okay, we audited, we saw 10 faults or 10 non-compliances. We'll have a re-audit in 3 months and we say 10 compliances closed, you're okay to go. तो ऐसा कुछ था ही नहीं.
बस आ रहे तो
आ
देख
रहे
रहे
कुछ
थे
अपने
जा-
नोट्स बना रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है, and then after 2 days they would go and they'd say, we'll let you know what is to be done. And then they said next audit, next audit. And I was about to make that strong statement, yeah, bus. And one of them said, yeah, now we're already done. We're almost there. He said, there'll be a next round. And I said, no. So he said, the next round will have the MD of Toyota. So I said, up until now, it's just audit. Now it's the MD of Toyota India. I said, wonderful. Why is he coming now? So I said, यहाँ तक आया है. One more. ऐसा कौन सा फर्क पड़ सकता है MD आने के बाद? So anyway, 2 months later, all of them came back again. And all the Japanese were wanting to show the MD kya, kaise, kya nahi. And our guys were a little back because they knew the plan, I think, by then much better than my guys did.
13 visits.
Yes. So they knew everything and God knows all. Sab kuch hua, and I think we got back to the conference room at 1:30 and I said, like I asked all my people who visit the company, how did you find, what's your feedback? This guy had no idea of English. He didn't speak English. All he spoke was Japanese amongst them. So for me asking him how it was very difficult and I knew he couldn't answer. So I said, even with that, can I ask you what did you feel visiting this plant? You've taken a 4-hour round. So I said, thought for a while and he said, mini Toyota. And that's it. I said, iske baad tum kuch mat bolna. Yahi pe chodo. Leave it at this because this is the statement. I mean, more than getting the business, the joy of somebody saying how we were so regimented, so disciplined, so committed to our work was a reward in itself.
Yeah.
And then we got the business. The rest is history. That today we now supply Toyota camshafts, which they have never ever sourced from outside. We're the only company in the world to supply Toyota finished machine camshafts. Other than us, they do everything themselves.
Wow.
इसके साथ 15-20 साल पहले बनाओ. 20 years ago when General Motors came to audit TCL from Europe, they went through the entire process. So I asked this guy, what do you say about this plant? So he said, a world-class plant happens to be in Sholapur.
True.
So he said, it's as good as anything, just happens to be here in Sholapur. So he said, you're second to none and you've created yourself an identity that very few people can do. Class mein kya hota hai? When you're used to getting number one, you're never happy when you become third.
Yeah.
So we're always that thing ward who was standing number one. And I kept pushing my team by saying, we can't fail. There is no room for failure. There is no option for failure. We must succeed. हाँ, एक आध बार कभी होगा, लेकिन give it a second chance. That is provided the customer uses you.
Yeah.
But if the customer doesn't give you, you're washed over. So don't ever do this that, we'll leave it to chance. होगा, ठीक है, देखेंगे. No. I think you give it your best shot. The customer must say, एक ही बार आए हैं, एक ही बार आएंगे. और अगर उसमें तुम कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिए, over.
So you got the world leaders, the world automotive leaders here in Solapur. Your commitment, your vision, everything we can see in your words and the way you have built something here in Solapur. But it takes a team to build an empire. It takes a team to be equally committed and patient. When the Japanese kept on coming for 13 times, they were the one who showed the patience and proved it to you that they are leading the way that you have laid down for them. What do you like to say about the team?
And what you might find amazing is my top team, 7-8 people, have been with me since I started business. They occupy senior positions. For example, take Mr. Joshi. He's our CFO and director. He is the custodian of wealth and he is extremely disciplined in the way he approaches his work. For me, it's an assurance that everything is safe. Take Mr. Deepak Kulkarni, who sits right in my office. He's been in PCL a month before I joined PCL. So he knows the in and out. Take Mr. Kashit, who is our HR manager. He's been now in the company for 36 years. So these guys People like Mr. Joshi and the rest, they have lived PCL. Eat, breathe, live, sleep, camp shifts. For them, the journey was as exciting it was for me. So it was saying that we will do it together. And I think that team's commitment was such a big strength for me. Yes, I have, but we have the right people within the company to make PCL go uh, so tall and keep the flag flying high. I always thought, yeah, okay, as a leader, I would do this. But then I always believed that there was a team that would translate it. You say you want to buy a German company. Obviously, there are so many things that you need to do. Aspirations have, but there are people who need to execute that to happen. So fortunately, this is a homegrown team. And they believe, and they have always believed that PCL will be number one. And they have continued to show huge commitment to PCL. So I think that's the team perspective where I believe I draw my strength from. I'm easy today by saying, "Nini, all that is happening there is in absolutely safe hands, as safe as it would be in my hands." ये करना ना बड़ा मुश्किल लगता है. You have to actually, how you say, you go through all the challenges and you go through all the turmoil and you go through all the roller coaster ride. And there are some people who say, no, I will be with the company in the good and the bad times.
Right.
These are the people who are there, who have been with the good and the bad. It's not that PCL has always had the best. PCL has had rough weather where I have said to myself, should I continue doing this business? Will there be a tomorrow? In such times, all they needed was my assurance that ये नहीं हम लोग जाएंगे आगे. Now, what made this happen? Obviously, you need to have a lot of belief in them. You need to have a lot of trust in them. You need to sell your dream, and I think that's extremely important. That ये हम लोग करेंगे, मैं नहीं करना चाहता. So that's why people are very proud today. You will not believe this. There are people sitting who probably will tell you what is the importance of this. I'll give you an example. This uniform, when a person wears or has worn, he got married because of this. तब तो शादी नहीं हो रहा था, तो ऐसे वो प्रेसिडेंट में काम करता है. हाँ, अभी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इट्स सेफ सिक्योर. तो चलो, ये भी होता है. रास्ते में पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया था किसी को, तुम बेल्ट नहीं लगाए. So the guy saw तुम बेल्ट नहीं लगाए, so stopped, and then he saw this. He said, तुम यहाँ से हो, I leave you, but they I'm sure they teach you that rules are to be followed. So during COVID times, we were allowed free movement. I think this logo and this uniform has earned a huge respect in Sholapur and outside. People look at this with great.
Absolutely.
I wear it with great pride because I think it's my skin. A lot of people come tell me, "Sir, your bus travels all over the place picking up people."
I was about to come to that. We see your bus and we're like, we know PCL.
But suppose it stops at the bus station. In front of the bus station, there is a stop. People will get inside the bus in a line. They will not push each other. And a lot of people have actually made videos and sent it to me. This is how your people get into the bus. अब मैं थोड़ी ना बोल रहा हूँ कि हम हर एक कर, but I think it's training that they've gone.
It's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA. It's in the culture, and I think people now accept that this is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the company or whether you're not.
No, we have seen that at the foundries that the tiffin boxes are in the serial number one after the other, same line, shift number one, shift number two. They also said that not just us, even our families are now following such rules. They have come, they have visited the plant, and they know why we have become so disciplined and so strict about certain things.
So
And now they are following that. But while on one side of your life is a great team that you have trusted and you have built, the other side is your family. And in the initial part, you said you have sacrificed a lot of that. What kind of role does the family play in creating a empire like this?
So let's start with my wife. Yeah. So my wife is a gold medalist doctor. She's a gold medalist lawyer. She's a half CA. She's a gifted artist, designer. You name it. She has a huge amount of qualities. One has to recognize this very in its right way. So two professions got married. Two people got married. One was a doctor and one was a businessman.
Yeah.
So when you have to come on common ground, you need to be doing the same things. So much as I wanted to become a doctor, मैं नहीं बन सकता था.
Hmm.
So I asked her that much as you can become a businesswoman if you want to. There is nothing that stops you, prevents you.
Yeah.
Learning on the job is easy.
Yeah.
She sacrificed a gold medalist career and she said, no, I'll be with you because I think we need that for our togetherness. So that is the sacrifice that she made by giving a phenomenal medical career and saying, I'll be with you. Now, when you do this and then you say, okay, I'll leave that, it's my responsibility to now hold your hand and teach you business, which I did. And so today, she manages books of accounts better than me. So I think she's pretty good at what she does. And she has been a major source of strength to me by saying, in all that you do, I will not blindly follow you.
Mm.
I will be your voice, your opinion, your reason. Whenever you're in doubt, whenever you have reasons to, so you talk, and I'm sure we'll sort that out. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर चीज में सोल्यूशन मिलता है. मेरे को तो लगता है, एटलीस्ट फॉर मी, आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट अदर्स, मेरे को तो लगता है कि मेरे को मेरा प्रॉब्लम पार्टनर को समझाने में ही आधा सोल्यूशन मिल जाता है. सो फॉर मी आई थिंक इट्स आई poured my heart out and you don't say anything and I think we'll come out with a solution. So there are lots of times when she has said nothing, I've heard nothing, but a solution has been found. So I think that's very important that she has been that since then till today. Never complained about a sacrifice that she's made of a golden career. As much as I don't regret, and some element is there that I don't regret not seeing my children grow up the way I wanted to,
Mm.
not celebrating holidays the way I would have loved to, not being with them on weekends. Nahi tha. But today I'm saying for that, here's where we are today.
Yeah. And I'm sure they're all proud of you.
They are. So my son and daughter both went to the US for graduation and they did their post graduation. My daughter got married and she stayed in the US. She successfully a master's in architecture, and so is her husband, and they're living there and doing very well. My son, he passed out of Harvard, which is something as rare as anything could be in, at least in our community or wherever. It was a distinct honor. And what I'm proud about is he could have had a lovely job in the US and lived a life and etc. because he had stayed 10 years.
Yeah.
But he chose to come back and start working in PCL because he said, this is the dream that I would like to fulfill. And I'd like to take it forward. I'd like to make sure that it grows, it becomes bigger. Everything, whatever I have learned, whatever I have got, I'd like to give it to this company rather than. So I said, two conditions. You come back here, तुम ये नहीं बोलोगे कि I'll look at PSL, but I'd like to stay in Bombay.
You'll stay here in
He said,
Solapur.
you don't have to tell me. I would prefer to stay here than in Pune and Bombay. मैंने कभी नहीं बोला था कि मुझे पुणे बॉम्बे में रहना है. I'll go there whenever there is a need to, but this is where I belong and this is where I will. I'm gonna get 10 years America, Harvard, and comes back to Sholapur. For me, it was.
Sure.
I mean, लोग बोलते हैं you're so fortunate. His wife also is an MBA trained in the US. From from an institute called Babson. So she also does her own startup. खुद का business है, and I think she's pursuing a fantastic career. So I think lots of things are in its place.
Thanks to you.
Thanks, maybe not thanks to me, but I think it's just maybe the way it was ordained. लगता है कि मुझे कि things have fallen in place the way I thought they should fall in place. No regrets.
You came back to Solapur. Your son, who studied at Harvard, comes back. Your whole family is proving that you can build an empire, a legacy, a 1200 crore company, a public company here in Solapur. But आज के डेट पे सब तो भाग रहे हैं सोलापुर से, पुणे, बॉम्बे, बैंगलोर, दिल्ली, यूएस, एंड कोई वापस नहीं आना चाहता. यहाँ पे क्या रखा है? यहाँ पे तो कुछ नहीं है. अरे कोई लाइफ नहीं है, बहुत जजमेंट्स है, ना कोई जॉब्स अच्छे हैं. सब तो भाग रहे हैं यहाँ से, क्यों ऐसे हो रहा है?
I mean, I don't think any city has become what it has today unless somebody has contributed to its success or whatever it is. So I think people from Sholapur are leaving and going to bigger cities are only making that more bigger and livable, or whatever it is. Stay back here, give this city your best, and it will do wonderful. There should be hope, not despair. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, कुछ नहीं रखा हुआ है, कौन लाके देने वाला है तुमको? Who's going to get something? कहीं यहाँ पे रखा कुछ नहीं, कौन लाके देने वाला है? It is you who's got to create it. It is you who will build it, and it is you who should be proud by saying, "This is my contribution to my city." Why are you here? You love your city, otherwise you could have got 10 podcasts in Pune.
Yeah.
But the question is that you're talking to a person from Sholapur. You are from Sholapur, and this means so much to you for the simple reason you believe that this city has a lot to offer.
Absolutely. I guess so many of us, my age people, younger, are going away from homes, staying out, sacrificing that crucial time, and then feeling there's nothing left here. And the moment, even I was in Pune for last 10 years, but when I came back here in last 1 year, like I told you about my dad's surgery and all, I just kept seeing how beautifully Solapur has changed. And there's so much hope, there's so much to do here. And one biggest reason that inspired me is you. That if you can build something so great, then you can do so much here. And today we have so many opportunities. We have explored so much. Uh, every house can become an entrepreneurial house. And why run away from that?
I mean, हर चीज में there is an excuse. यहाँ पे प्लेन नहीं है, यहाँ पे ये नहीं है, यहाँ पे कभी देखा हुआ है that there are other cities which are worse than you but doing better than you because of the people. If you stop loving your city, who's going to build it? In Sholapur, unfortunately, मैंने एक देखा है. I mean, I start to criticize, but it's a fact. So over an evening, if people are sitting, there's competition amongst them to say how bad Sholapur is,
Oh.
rather than saying how good things are in Sholapur. एक ने ये बोला, अरे ये तो कुछ नहीं, इससे खराब है ऐसे.
Yeah.
So now what happens? This reaches people from outside, and then they start putting a stigma onto you. But oh, you're from Sholapur.
Hmm. होता है.
So I said, why this? I said, I'm extremely proud. I'm extremely proud that I hail from this place. I've always remained committed to this place. My growth will happen in this place.
But do you think people here are a little laid back?
एक कॉम्प्लेसेंसी तो बहुत जल्दी आ जाती है सोलापुर के लोगों में. And it's just not one sector. There are you go across anything. Being restaurants, be it hotels, be it whatever profession, industry. थोड़ा इतना से मिल गया, their line and the definition is very clear. यहाँ तक मिल गया, बहुत हो गया.
Aram.
So my competition is the guy who's next door in Sholapur. They have never thought that I will like to compete with somebody in Pune, Bombay, India, outside. You have competed, I've done better than you. I'm happy. Why am I driving? I love this life that I have. By God's grace, I have everything. Family life, everything, it's wonderful. My question is, why am I driving it? So today the drive is only for joy of creation. Today the joy is, am I creating a factory where in 3 years from now I'll see it buzzing with some 600 people? And that to me is the kick, not joy.
Joy.
It is that fantastic feeling that यहाँ तक कुछ नहीं था कल तक, and I'm trying to now create something. And किया है. 1 factory to 8 factories, 8 factories to now 10 factories to outside. This is not greed. This is not greed. वरना ये अगर होता ना, तो मैं शायद वो कैंटीन में खाना भूल जाता.
Hmm.
This I know, I am rooted. I'm not saying down to earth or whatever, all those things, but I'm rooted enough to understand the difference between greed and to grow with the joy of creation.
So money is not everything.
No, money is not at all everything. Okay, people will say तुम अब बात कर सकते हो.
हाँ.
शायद at an early age that is everything. But
Yeah.
all these things have different answers at different ages. And today, at my age, having achieved whatever I have, I'm happy that materialistically I'm happy. Now my job is to see my job. My aspirations is to see how I can create more.
Now you
Yeah.
know what to do.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah. But you spoke about being, Gujarati, and few of the leading people in India are Gujaratis, Marwadis. Is there something in the DNA too? I really want to know this. Why do you guys make the maximum money here? You guys are in the 1%, top 10%.
Gujarati is Marwadis, yeah. So a lot of people will not agree with me, but I think they genetically we are built with that.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something that how would you say an average गुजराती को सिखाया जाता है कि एक के दो कैसे बनाना जल्दी से जल्दी and that's what he's taught since he's in school is a child.
Yeah.
You know how you can best utilize the money, how you can get. So देखते देखते by the time he's the guy is in 8th 9th 10th he's already learned the business lines of his father. He's already assisting him in some way or the other. And देखते देखते by the time he is roughly even just barely managed to finish graduation, he has already become sort of an expert in doing business.
Yeah.
So that's why his father said, "पढ़ लिख के कौन बड़ा हुआ है? चलो."
Yeah.
And then the guy has proven himself. His instincts are fantastic. As I told you,
Yeah.
instincts, gut feelings. नहीं है ना, I think it's very, you will not see it overseas. Take South India.
Hmm.
South India, जितने भी लोग देखो तुम, they are excellent professionals.
Absolutely. I agree. Like we are
Yeah.
Teluguites.
Otherwise,
Everyone, all our cousins have done engineering, IIT, abroad जाओ, कोई Tesla में कर रहा है, कोई कहीं और. That I would agree. And even when I took business, they were like, ये कहाँ से आया? मैंने बोला, even I hung out with a lot of Guju and Marwadi.
maybe.
And considering my dad was also into textiles and
Right.
business.
This is a community that is inclined towards education.
Right.
Respect education.
Yeah.
Profession.
Absolutely.
जो कुछ करना है. अगर बोला कि नहीं सब कुछ बेच बाच के बिजनेस करो, नहीं करना है. लोन लेना है, नहीं, हमसे लोन नहीं बन पाएगा. So there are so many traits that why would somebody grow up like this?
Yeah.
Because the family values and singer. Gujarati में नहीं है ऐसा. And then again, if you look at Gujarati Marwadis, and then you go on top as in North, पैसा जेब में है नहीं, लेकिन दिखाना है कि इतना है. So we are all very different in our ways of life.
I guess the upbringing makes a huge difference. The mentality, the conditioning, the belief of the parents also, the risk-taking aspect. We all learn from our parents. We literally end up with the same conditioning when we grow up. And most of the times I feel, there are two kinds of people, irrespective of how many hours they're working, no matter, शायद उससे भी ज़्यादा कर रहा होगा. But 8 घंटे काम करके he still is financially or in all the ways very average, and the other person who is equally putting 8 hours is a millionaire or is a billionaire. Do you think it's again the difference in conditioning and the mindset?
That's not gonna. I think those 8 hours, what you put in is important.
क्या कर रहे हो?
The best you put in those 8 hours. What you do in those 8 hours is very important. It's very easy to say that both people working the same things have had a turning event in life. One remaining where he was the other. I think there are some events in life that can actually alter this. So मेरे ख्याल से it's not so straight that there is an 8 hours working style that automatically is the reason for one becoming successful, one remaining mediocre.
Yeah. So we've spoken about all the success, all the right people in your life at the right time, the support, the conditioning. But in last 3 decades, was there ever a time where you felt everything is falling apart and I have nothing in my hands now and I want to give up? And who did you go to during such times?
No, there were moments when I felt such that there's nothing going to happen and so on and so forth. Now, I wasn't searching for anybody to solve those problems. मेरे को नहीं लगता था कि then it's like saying that, help me in all my difficult times. It just happened that I met this gentleman who became my mentor for 20 years. Incredible personality. Never seen anybody as sharp as him. Nobody's seen somebody who was given to such a clinical thinking. Everything was black and white. There was no gray.
to the way he understood finance, to the way he understood technicalities, everything. And I just thought he was a bundle of everything that I thought was superb. So I said, why not look at him as a mentor? I never said, can you become a mentor? What I would do is I would pick on his brains by going to his place once in 10 days and sitting over an evening with him. I would discuss my problems, and then he would say, Shayad aisa karke dekho, this is what I would have done. And then this association, this thing actually grew so much so that he became a very pivotal part of this PCL journey. I always tell in my wife, my kids, that much of what I am today is because of him. I mean, I'm almost like a replica in many ways. Had he been here and we've been talking, you would have said, who's doing what? He was the guy who made me see things in a different way. So, Patani, I don't know whether people understand the difference between a coach, educator, and a mentor. तीनों को इकट्ठा कर लेते हैं लोग और गलती करते हैं. कोच होता है और कि तुमको कुछ समझ भी नहीं आता, मैं तुमको कोचिंग करूंगा. एजुकेटर क्या बोलता है कि तुमको एजुकेशन है नहीं, मैं दूंगा तुमको. मेंटर क्या बोलता है, look, my job to teach you or coach you. My experience I will share. If in that you can find some kind of a direction, good for you. If it can't, sorry. And you got to look at a mentor who you would go back to irrespective of whatever he says. So a lot of people have come back to me. A lot of people have been the last 7-10 years. Sir, can you be a mentor? एक तो मैंने बोला कि पहले किसी पूछते नहीं है. ये तुम क्या मेरे को ऑफिशियल डेजिग्नेशन दे रहे हो क्या कि मैं मेंटर की पोजीशन ले लो? Or am I getting a letter from you? Sir, I'd like to talk to you a couple of times, see whether ठीक है. Then when something is told which where I say this is how I would run, नहीं ये शायद थोड़ा नहीं लगता सर. You're the right to have your own views. You're the right to have your own choices because you're responsible for the success and failure.
Yeah.
But because the mentor says, I don't think he's right, you say कि ये गलत आदमी है. I won't come back here. No, he had a lot of points which I didn't agree. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't become a mentor. I'm asking him to make my thinking right, not my decisions. लोग गलती क्या करते हैं, डिसीजन सोचते हैं, अगर ये करो तो क्या करो. मैं बोल रहा हूँ तुमको, आई एम ओनली नाउ ट्राइंग टू टेल यू, हियर इज अ fork. Choose, you want to go left or right. I'm only showing you the fork at least. That decision making when he gives you the clarity, I think that's the job of the mentor. With that clarity, you should be able to take your own call.
Yeah.
That's the role of a mentor. So I just don't like being saying, can you become a mentor? बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, सर कुछ तो you will be talking about a mentor. I said, एक तो mentor मिलना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है, उसके साथ रहना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है, and it's a journey that is long.
Yeah, I feel like from the eras of the Bhagavad Gita to even today, a mentor or a guru always plays a pivotal role in your life. Like you said, not for the decisions you make, but to help you see clearly. Were there any such decisions, like which is like something life changing for you, where your mentor helped you see the vision clearly?
Several. If I were to start talking about him, you would probably be shooting till evening, or maybe even longer. So from MIDC Akkalkot Road, we were going to form a joint venture with an English company, and then we were looking for a larger place of land to form this joint venture. And we both realized, or rather, at least I realized, that Akkalkot Road is not a place where I would do it. It's a dirty place. Roads are not good. It's not clean. It's not hygienic. You might as you create a good plant. So people would not come here. So Chinchor is beautiful. I said, why not go to Chinchor? He happened to be there that day. It wasn't that I had called him. He said, क्या कर रहे हो? जगह देखने जा रहा हूँ. I said, चलो मैं भी आता हूँ. So we went around. And I was around my mind कि 2 एकड़ जगह है Akkalkot Road पे, 2 या 3 एकड़ जगह है. Now 5 acres would make it fantastic, such a big place, and so on and so forth. So हर जगह पे मैंने अपने ब्रोकर को बोल के रखा था कि 5 एकड़ की जगह, 5-6 एकड़ की जगह दिखाओ. So we were going from one place to the other place. कहीं 5 एकड़ थे, कहीं 7 एकड़ थे. And I was trying to make in my mind, this is not good, whatever it is. Then we stopped at a place where I said, they said, how much is this? I said, why do you ask? He's not asking you. So how much is this? This is 50 acres. I said, why don't you buy this? Unless you did not hear me right. I'm looking for 5.
5 acres.
And you're talking about 50. Something going wrong. And I don't really think we're on the same level. He says, there's nothing going wrong. He was always so short of words and he's explained it so curt, strongly, and in single words that it hit you like a bullet. So I said, no, I'm not looking at this 50 acres. He said, hey, one sec. He says, 50 acres. You don't have the money to buy this? I'll give you. You don't have the vision to buy this? I can't help you. Let's find the answer when you go home. Now, that is what I kept thinking in the car. He said, kya bol ke gaya hai? So I said, then I said, no, I think it's 50 acre. And today, rest is history. Today, you've been to 50 acres. There's very little space in which I can put up additional facilities. Others would have been scattered all around Chinchori with small plants all over the place. He had the vision to do that. He only made sure that my vision enlarged. ऐसे बहुत सारे इस किस्से हैं. So he used to always tell me one lesson that he's always given me strong, which I give to everybody in the house also. He says, compartmentalize your mind. Compartment to your mind, and in such a way that you do your best for the time that you assign to. So now, for example, today in my calendar, I said 11 to 2 Sudakshina. For that, I will not have anything going on in my mind, phone calls, this, that, what is happening, can you stop now, can I look at this, and all of that. So I've given you that time. So he used to always explain to me, when you give time to somebody, give it full. Respect it. Don't give it half, or don't give it with lack of commitment. One day I told him that, can I come and meet you? He said, what time? These were the dialogues on the phone. I said, 7:30. How long? I said, maybe 9. He said, not maybe. How long? I said, 9. So 7:30 I went there. He did like 7:31. I knew that. And I went there at 7:30, and then at 5 to 9 or so, he started looking at his watch. And I said, what's the matter? He said, none of your concern. I told you, you told me 9. We're drawing at 9. So if you don't mind, can you leave? I said, okay, I'm not. But anyway, what is it? He said, 7:30 to 9. I gave you time. I gave you the attention. I gave you everything that you wanted. Now, there's a workers' meeting at my office below at 9 p.m. because we have a huge strike in the factory. And there is militancy. So I should have told me that don't come. This is more important. His dialogue was, you're not to decide that. You're not to decide that. That's my decision whether I'm giving you 7:30 to 9 was my call, and I gave it to you. You don't tell me was it worth it or not. That's for me to decide. I said, good. How many people can do this?
Yeah.
So that is how it is. Time, decisions, clinical thinking, black and white. I've learned so much from him that I wouldn't probably learned in 10 degrees or college degrees or whatever you want to call it. Nahi hota. So mere ख्याल से a mentor is very, very important in life. Not that one can't survive without a mentor, but having a mentor in life would always be good, a good mentor.
And I guess today a lot of them found a mentor in you through this podcast.
I don't know about that, but मेरे को तो लगता है कि mentor and mentee relationship है. इसमें 2 चीज़ें होती हैं. कितनी tenacity है, कितनी intensity है, and third most importantly कितनी consistency है. ये तीनों में, I mean, I was fortunate never to have either of these qualities diminish with him. So I've always had that same level of all three whenever I met him. Never disillusioned by saying, क्या है अब क्या कर रहे हो मेरे को तुम? I always believe that there is so much to learn from him. There is so much to take from him. So he happens to be my wife's uncle.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
It lasted 20 years, where it turned into, at the end of 20 years, a little more than that, it turned into a good friendship bond, then a mentor-mentee. I think that's a lovely relationship that we had.
But throughout your journey, there have been times where things just happened or people were just meant to be there. Like even the person from Chennai or even your mentor or so many things, like it just happened to be there as if it was just written for you beautifully. Uh, And one last thing about the whole business part, what I would like to ask you is, what are your top three takeaways that you believe in and you absolutely would like to continue with PCL? And what is the future of PCL? Where do we see that?
So there is a life, there is a DNA and culture
Yeah.
that PCL has built. There are some values, there are some beliefs, convictions, which are not documented. Everybody believes. तो हम काफ़ी बार बोलते हैं कि पीसीएल का डीएनए और कल्चर ऐसे है। कैसे है? दिखाओ ना किताब। नहीं है हमारे पास कोई किताब। But there is so many unwritten laws, unwritten rules, unwritten regulations, unwritten beliefs. ये सारी चीज़ें मिलके एक पीसीएल बनता है. So I think that is something that I would like. Obviously, Karan has imbibed all of them, and he strongly believes in this. Very strongly believes in this. You know what? He never said, "Kya hai believes hai ye sab?" No, we're not. I think he knows that this has been the cause of success. And he'd be stupid to say, okay, I'll give up all this and still try and search success. There are so many people believing in this, and you've got to make sure that this continues. So he strongly believes in them. He lives by it. He respects it. And he's seen advantage it. Funny. I've seen somebody like me and the son being given so much gift on a platter or whatever you want to call it. Automatically things go to the head. But I think he's far more grounded than I am. Far more grounded than I am. I think he's far more soft. My times demanded aggression. His times don't.
Yeah.
But I think his approach to doing business is highly collaborative, highly togetherness. I am the one who says this is what you should do and by evening, period. Don't talk. So हमारी साइज में कुछ फर्क है, but हर एक वक्त का एक requirement होता है. He likes that he's seen success. I like that I've seen success. So obviously now maybe the time in future will decide. But I'm sure our team, me and my team, which has really done so much in life, that we have lots of things to look behind and be happy. All those people that I've talked to you about, Joshi, Kulkarni, Kashis, etc., etc. We all will have lots of things to look behind and say, हम कुछ कर दिखाए हैं, हमने कुछ किया है.
जरूर.
तो मेरे को लगता है कि he now will have to create his own set of team. And then he has to see how he continues this journey. But I'm sure with the training that he has, the values that he has got, with the way we live, मेरे ख्याल से he would be a good person to lead PCL in time to come.
If 2 hours of having a conversation with you can impact all of us so much, he's your son at the end of the day, and the way you spoke about your wife too, the values that she embedded, I'm sure there's a lot to PCL too. Now we'll just do a quick session where I want like rapid answers from you. So it's a break it or keep it section that we do for breaking stereotypes. I'll mention a stereotype. You can just say break it or keep it. And if there's something that you want to speak about that particular thing, please do. So break it or keep it segment. Government intervention always slows down business.
Not necessarily. Government intervention is necessary for business. Minus rules, regulations, and laws, this will become a jungle. It will be free for all. The amount of intervention is more important. The more you the more you regulate, the more difficult it becomes. Keep your boundaries. Say that you're not going to go beyond this boundary. That intervention is a must. And this intervention largely happens because those who create this intervention must have a trust in the people.
Yeah.
So I think America's intervention is necessary.
And so do you think, like everyone says, India is the youngest country and India has entrepreneurs coming every single day. So India will be the next global, or it's already dominating globally. But the way Indian government is regulating, it has changed.
I think the government, the way it has set the ball rolling for ensuring freedom is fantastic. There is a lot that has been allowed now. You see the digitalization, you see automation, you see everything. Some things that you've never seen in life ever before, and you suddenly now say, click of a button, I can get what I want. कोई फॉर्म तो तुमको 10 दिन 15 दिन जाके बैठना पड़ता था. Now you're sitting at home, you get it.
Yeah.
Now, these are all things that actually make ease of business happen. मैं नहीं ये कह रहा हूँ कि वहाँ पहुँच गए, लेकिन मैं इतना तो ज़रूर बताऊँगा, India is probably one of the best places which is happening for doing ease of business. Regulations, slowing down everything. You should go to Germany and see. You will come running back after 1.5 years saying, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे, हिल नहीं पा रहे.
यहाँ पे तो स्ट्रीट वेंडर के पास भी है, यूपीआई है।
Yeah, look at the vibrancy that the government has created. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's just saying that, okay, you guys are getting ready to become the next global power.
Absolutely. Great. Following family business traditions is the only way to succeed in 2025.
Not at all.
To build a 1,000 crore company, you must move to big cities like Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore.
Really.
It's the proof, guys. Watch it here. Come to Solapur. Please visit the PCL foundries. You'll just know what he is speaking about. In today's world, speed matters more than perfection. Launch fast, fix later.
It's not one for the other. It's both together. You have to have the speed, otherwise you will not last. And if you don't do it the first time right, even then you won't last. So it's important that first time right and as fast as possible. So both are important.
Entrepreneurship is the only real path to financial freedom.
Not at all. Not at all. There are enough and more ways.
Make in India is the future. Global dependency is dangerous.
Make in India is a phenomenal thing that is done by the government. I think they've proven again that there is capabilities in India to reach to the world outside. And promoting this has been good. Dependence on outside is unhealthy and is dangerous. The less you are dependent, current times will tell you that this is absolutely true, that you should not be dependent on outsiders. The more you are dependent on your own self and make others depend on you is better.
But yeah, we can see the Trumps and the global leaders. So yeah. Short-term profits are more important than long-term vision.
Not at all.
Work-life balance while running a company is a myth.
It's not a myth. It's only it's necessary. Work-life balance is necessary. Question is what age?
Hmm.
So you have to choose that by saying, "Bahut ho gaya," and I need to. So people can have work-life balance beginning at 30, beginning at 40. However, you say work-life balance at 70. There is no work-life balance at 70. At 70, you're not going to do family and what I find a little intriguing is when I'm traveling overseas, I see a lot of old people from India in wheelchairs wanting to go to Switzerland for a holiday. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि करना नहीं चाहिए. हर एक का हक बनता है कि जाके छुट्टी मनाओ. हर एक को हक है कि जाके दुनिया देखो. Enjoy your life. My question as I'm walking past is, what made you not do this at 55?
Yeah.
When you were fit to walk and everything. अब ये इस तरह से शायद बोलेंगे नहीं हम कर नहीं पाते थे. No, I'll tell you what happens. Then I realized the answer. खुद के लिए किया पहले. Right? खुद के लिए किया, बड़ी मेहनत के साथ अपना सब कुछ बनाया. Then spend half the rest of your life building your children's life. उनके लिए हो गया, ये हो गया, उनको एजुकेशन दे दिया, उनके लिए पैसे रखे हुए हैं, उनकी शादी की, उनको कहीं तो कुछ लगा दिया. अब ये दोनों होने के बाद you say now I'll have family life. कहाँ बची है? You're by then so old that you will walk in a wheelchair going to a holiday, Europe. जो बच्चे के लिए तुम इतना कर रहे हो ना, let him do it ना. तुम जिम्मेदारी खुद की भी कर रहे हो, तुम जिम्मेदारी उस जनरेशन भी कर रहे हो, और उसके बाद तुम चाहते हो कि I'll now lead a happy life.
But you have traveled across a lot. Every half the month you're abroad. There outside at 16, 18, they kick their kid out of the house to be independent enough.
Well, that's again a little bit of an extreme. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये गलत है and वो सही है. That is an extreme. America में 18 is out.
Yeah.
You fend for your education, you fend for everything, you live, you get married on your own, everything. So it's a different culture. India is grandson भी हो तो इकट्ठा रहेंगे, and then I'll still take care of it at the age of 80 till all of this. This is midway in Europe. Sometimes you say कि one generation following is still together. Then it's over. So you got to be very clear. कहाँ तक?
एंड जैसे आज के डेट पे हसल कल्चर को बहुत ज़्यादा एनकरेज करते हैं टू वर्क 20 आवर्स अ डे, नो स्लीप, नो फूड, जस्ट फोकस, वर्क, वर्क, वर्क. I did that when I was 21 and I saw the pros and cons. I built some of the greatest networks during that time. But do you also believe in this? Is it okay to work 24/7 at the times where your body is ready to do that?
You've done it, I've done it. Right? Either of us are not competent to answer and say yes or no. हमने किया है, and I think we enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wouldn't say that you shouldn't do it. जिसको कर सकता है करे, ना करना है मत करो.
Yeah. Okay. Being rich is only about making more money.
Not at all.
Money can buy happiness.
The biggest myth. It's wrong.
Now the rapid fire segment. 2 books that have changed your mindset.
Honestly, I don't read books.
No?
No.
Not at all?
I don't read books, and I'm not saying that book reading is a bad habit or something. I like interacting with people. I would sit with you and understand you over 2 hours than to understand a book or something. It's just not me.
Okay.
But I'm not advocating that book reading is bad.
One mantra you live by every day.
Consistency. So what I believe is consistency is far, far, far more important than intensity.
And perfection too.
Yes? What you do, you should do it right.
A failure that became your biggest learning.
I wouldn't say there is a single failure, but I think early in life, I thought things would happen quick and fast. And I tried to run way faster than what I thought I should have. And I stumbled, fell on my face, realized that you need to change pace. And then had I not done that, it would have been very difficult. But accepting that the change in pace is necessary was...
Did you have your wife again telling time to get up or time to do
No,
things
it was not
differently?
like this. It's like, you're expecting too much out of everything and too fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to give it some time, right?
Hmm.
For instance, I plant trees. If I were me and the way I'd like to see the tree go 15 feet in one day. ऐसा होता है क्या? नहीं होता है. So I think that's the answer that you...
The biggest risk you ever took in the business.
Going to PCL and starting PCL, I think that is the biggest, because it actually got me out of a huge comfort zone. And then that risk was, what if I failed? Completely out.
Morning routine, one thing you never skip, or a day routine.
Way back when I was 50, I'd worked so much that I had actually stopped remaining healthy. I had stopped remaining healthy. It was work, rubbish food, challenging times. So much so that I had actually put on a lot of weight. I was feeling sluggish, I was feeling tired, and the rest of it, etc. So my wife on my 50th birthday, was it necessary? I don't know, but it was. She said, you from today, either if you don't change your lifestyle, you should start by taking tablets from tomorrow, because they will be needed by you because of the way you lead your life. I said, no way I will have this. I'll change my lifestyle, and I changed my lifestyle from one day to the other. And one of the things that I try to remain consistent, I am fairly consistent, is to have a workout, some form or the other. Some form, preferably my gym. So if I can't do it in the evening, I'll make it up in the morning. If I can't do it in the morning, I can make it up in the evening. Let's say I'm traveling extensively. I make it a point that I at least walk 8 to 10 kilometers a day. So some sense. So, physical activity is important, and that's what keeps your joints, your everything healthy.
Yeah.
तुम अगर वही ना करो, तो फिर क्या, it's like saying that, you're abusing your body, which is not good.
Okay. And one thing you do for your mental health?
Very different, very difficult to answer.
बिकॉज इतना स्ट्रेस तो हमें ही होता है, तो आपको कितना स्ट्रेस होता होगा, टेंशन आती होगी, या फिर कभी गुस्सा, फ्रस्ट्रेशन ऐसे कभी हुआ है?
So I don't know. मेरे ख्याल से travel has been my way of relaxation.
Okay.
So I sort of look at getting into a travel mode. But again, how would you put it? Is it escape from stress, or is it to say, what do I do to de-stress?
Yeah, maybe de-stress, because escape again.
Or de-stress the number of things, like my workout, etc., etc. These are things that you de-stress. I think once you decide to stop doing something which actually stresses you, which hota nahi hai. Take example, Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. It's my holiday today, right? What would I have been doing in normal circumstances? Yeah, so I would freshen up, have a lovely breakfast, come down to my office and clear up my office work, which has been pending for time. For me, that's relaxation. For some people, it could be somewhere saying कि चल पिक्चर चलते हैं, कहीं यहाँ चलते हैं. I don't mind. But अगर तुम मेरे को पूछो कि क्या है, I'd love to get this out of the way. It sort of gives me a feeling of ease.
That's also because you love your work. Even
I
at
love-
70, you'll be like,
Ah,
yes.
yes, I am all set to go.
Okay. One decision that completely changed your life.
What a piece.
A leader or role model you look up to.
I meant it.
Okay. If not business, what career you would choose?
Hard question, but honest answer. I like politics. I used to like politics, but when I mentioned this word, I think everybody in my house would give up on me or rather disown me. None of them like this field, and they said it's not you. I have always felt that that's something that I would have loved to be. But nevertheless, it's out now.
Okay. But it would be nice to see you there, no? Best piece of advice you have ever received and from whom?
My wife, yes, you can do it. Go to PCR.
One habit that makes you highly productive.
Consistency. और कुछ नहीं है. बार-बार वही बोल रहा हूँ मैं. Consistency is the key to everything.
Okay. And ending this incredible, inspiring session, if there's one stereotype that you would like to break in today's day and age, what would that be?
I don't know, over a period of time, I have heard from people that there is an age to do things. इस उम्र में ये करना चाहिए, इस उम्र में ये करना चाहिए, उस उम्र में ऐसा करना चाहिए, इस ऐसा करना चाहिए. So there are
Boxes.
huh?
There are boxes of
Everything is in box. कपड़े ऐसे नहीं पहनो, कपड़े इसके साथ ऐसे पहनो. You're not supposed. I love breaking all those boxes. I just challenge everything. I just make sure that I do things that are sometimes crazy, and I always feel that it's fun challenging set practices.
to
निकलो
break the
उससे बाहर.
glass
break,
ceiling.
break the glass. Come out of it. Try it yourself. किसको सुन के तुम क्या कर रहे हो? खुद करके देखो. अगर वो तुमको पसंद आया तो you should be able to tell the people you're defining these boxes for no reason.
Yeah.
So I love to lead my own life. I love to have no boundaries. I love to have no boxes.
So break the stereotype.
Break the stereotype.
I'm absolutely inspired and I've taken away so much from this particular interview. It felt like someone I've seen in Solapur who has created such a big legacy and empire. He has inspired that no matter where you are, from the smallest city or in the metro cities or the greatest place on this earth, you can make things happen. And if you believe, if you have the conviction, the consistency, and the will to dream big and work hard, you can make everything happen. Until then, keep asking questions, keep breaking stereotypes, don't be afraid to dream big, and keep watching Breaking Stereotypes. Like, share, subscribe to our channel, watch us on YouTube and streaming live on Spotify. Signing off, this is Sudakshna Chatla, your host.